Are you curious about the heart of Lincolnshire? Join us on a captivating journey through this enchanting county, from the bustling streets of Barton to the serene landscapes of Bourne. We delve into the essence of Lincolnshire, from the characters, the art and the hidden gems waiting to be uncovered. Our guests are the heartbeat of Lincolnshire Live's Natters. You might not know them yet, but their stories will resonate with you. From artists to historians, from farmers to poets, we celebrate the diverse voices of Lincolnshire. So whether you're a local or a curious traveller, tune in, let's unravel the tapestry of Lincolnshire together. Welcome to episode 19 of the Links Lives Natters podcast. Today we're talking about Truckfest 24, which has been described as the Glastonbury for trucks. It's the UK originals and leading truck show heading to Lincoln for the first time on the 4th, 5th and 6th of May 24, after being in its home of 42 years at the East of England Showground in Peterborough. So it's a new chapter for today's guest, Bob Limming from Live Promotion Events, who is one of the partners behind Truckfest 24. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Pleasure.
So what brings you to Lincoln? Tell us all about this
Okay.
Truckfest.
Well, let me give you a little bit of a potted history. Truckfest actually started 42 years ago.
42 years ago.
At Newark. And it was at the Newark Showground. We went along and asked if we could hire the showground, and the initial outing for Truckfest was held at an Easter time. We weren't allowed to go into the showground itself because the then management were quite concerned that we'd churn it all up. So we only used the runways. They have two parallel runways there. So we used those. And the night before, because it was Easter, the night before it actually snowed. We'd got...
Oh no.
Oh yeah. The night, I mean, bearing in mind that my business partner and I, we'd invested quite heavily in it. We didn't know whether it would work or not because there was nothing like Truckfest. Would it capture people's imagination? Wouldn't it? We had Lewis Collins, who was from the Professionals, as our guest on the first one.
What year are we talking about,
we're talking
Bob? Can we ask that?
1983.
1983.
We had Sheila Tracy, who at the time was the little bit like Sally Traffic. She used to do the Radio 2 nighttime stuff with the truck drivers. We had 300 trucks, one truck distributor, and not a lot else really. And we were very, very nervous going into the first day, as you can imagine. There was still an inch of snow on the ground, and we thought, we're dead ducks, that's the houses gone. But by 9 in the morning, the police were jumping up and down because we'd blocked the A1.
Oh dear.
Such was the popularity. It's well documented that the way that we marketed this event was we used CB radios.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about that because it's quite different how you started this, didn't you? How you got people's attention.
It's so far removed from where we are now because, if you look at Truckfest Lincoln this weekend, we're on every medium possible. Next week you'll see that the TV campaign will kick in, provincial newspapers, radio. We're using all the forms, and of course now, unlike then, there's the social medias as well. So, and even our own radio station, HGV1.
Which we will get into that because that's an interesting conversation me and Bob have had about. He's got his own radio station.
So, all in all, it was quite a risk. We didn't know whether it would work or it wouldn't work. We hoped that it would work, but it seemed to capture everybody's imagination because I think trucks are larger than life, and as I said to you, by 9 in the morning, we'd got a lot of traffic waiting to come in, so we knew we'd got a success. We knew that there was something that we could build on, and then what happened was we had two very, very successful days. The sun came out, the snow melted, and although it was a little bit slushy underfoot, it was okay. So we knew that we'd run out of space. We couldn't carry on just by having the runways. We approached the East of England showground and asked them if they would play host to it. We moved the date to this weekend, which is the beginning of May, the May Day bank holiday, and the event just continued to grow. And we had our last event at the East of England showground last year because they're redeveloping the site. And, you know, at the end of the day, it was very, very sad.
Yeah, I'd read some articles. You were quite sad about leaving that space because it's been home for so many years, hasn't it?
Well, you know, our families have grown up watching us there, and Colin and I, my business partner and I, we did the final bit in the main arena with the commentators to say goodbye to Peterborough. And there's so much happened there over the years. And it brought a tear to the eye. In fact, so much so that my granddaughter, who was sitting in the grandstand, said to my daughter, "Why is Poppy crying?" And as I was
that's so sweet.
And as I was coming out the main arena, I just choked up, and the tears were coming down my. And then a guy came to me and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You're Bob from Truckfest, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I just want to introduce you," because I thought there was a complaint on the way, but it wasn't a complaint. He said, "I just want to introduce you to my father. This is my son, this is my grandson. This has been part of our lives. Truckfest, it has been an integral part of our lives. This is something that we've never missed one." And you don't realise how much it means to people until somebody does something like that.
Yeah, there again, I've been reading stuff online, and you know, people have said, "I went as a child, then I've taken my children, I've taken my grandchildren."
Absolutely.
So people have grown up. So for you've seen people sort of like children that have got their own children now coming along, and you know, for you that must be so emotional as well.
We've had everything at Truckfest over the years. We've had births, deaths, marriages. You've
actually had a marriage?
Yeah. So everything's happened over the years at the event. That's why the emotion probably got to me, because I remember, and so many of the people that have worked on the event, so many of the people that are no longer with us. And there was an incident where the showground manager, who passed away, and we'd known him for years and years. His name was Colin Eastham. He passed away 2 years ago, and his family came along to the last event, and this is the strangest thing. I picked up, because we have a large radio network, obviously. I picked up my radio that I was allocated for the day, and I saw his daughters, who are in their late 30s. I bumped into them, and they said, you know, Dad would be really sad that this is the last one here, because he loved Truckfest. And he was a great help to us over the years. And then all of a sudden, I had a radio call come through that I had to take, and I looked at the number that was on the radio, and it was his call sign, 47.
No way.
So he was up there. He was up there watching.
What a signal to sort of like, it's just, that's just,
I wish I could... Bearing in mind that we have 80 radios out there during the event, and I'd got 47, it's like bingo, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is one thing I'd quite like to express. If you could see the emotion on Bob's face when he's talking about Truckfest at the moment, you know, it's this massive smile, you know, and it's sort of like, now you're looking to the future. You know, obviously, I know you're saying you were sad about leaving Peterborough, so many memories, but you're at a new ground.
Well, the real plus is being here at the Lincolnshire Showground. A, because of the people that are here, the whole team here. It made us feel so welcome. You came into this showground this morning, it's pristine.
It's absolutely
it looks
pristine. I
fantastic.
will agree with Bob on that one.
I know that our major exhibitors will come in next week, and they'll go, wow. The problem with the East of England was that because their own agricultural show stopped some 12 years ago, there was no investment going in there. And, at the end of the day, the infrastructure wasn't in place in the way that it should have been. So, yes, it was sad to leave, but we're coming to a far superior.
A brand new chapter is happening.
Absolutely.
New memories, Bob, to start again. You can create new memories in Lincolnshire now.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, like you say, you'll start seeing other people coming along.
Things happen for a reason. The showground was sold off. We approached Lincolnshire Showground, Lincolnshire Society, and they said, yes, we can.
Absolutely. Let's bring it to Lincoln.
And as I say, it's a great team. So, we're looking forward to working with them next week. And Truckfest isn't just about our team. It's everybody that takes part in it with such passion.
Absolutely. Because there again, I've been reading about some of the monster trucks. I'm going to recall it. I think it's called Slingshot. Is that the name?
That's right.
And they've come to you for years and years.
Yeah.
That's another example of
they're
what we're
part
saying.
of the family.
Yeah, they're
everybody
part of your
that's
family.
here, whether they're car parkers, security, commentators, they're all part of the Truckfest family. And let's not forget that it isn't just Lincoln. There are
Yes, there is other ones.
There are 8 other Truckfests this year.
There is other Truckfest available.
Yeah. In fact, we have a new one in Wales this year. So
I've been reading about the one in Wales as well. That's new territory for you as well, going into Wales and stuff like that.
And I've wanted to go for a long, long time, but there was only one venue that I would consider going to, and that's the Royal Welsh.
The Royal Welsh Showground.
Yes, lovely facility. It is what it is.
A new chapter.
Yeah, a new chapter. And yes, at the end of the day, we need to get to know every square inch of the showground here. We knew the other one so well,
So when you're placing your trade stands where you want to put your rigs, your vehicles...
Well, we have a team that work on that. They work via, I don't know, they don't let me operate it. It's called CAD. That's what they do. So that is down to the
So they
millimetre.
know every square inch of this showground, like where every cable was, where every plug point was, they would know.
They know all of that.
So literally every blade of grass, they would know. And why don't they let you do that, Bob?
Because I'm a dinosaur, really.
But you were the brains and the
one of them,
to get them started.
Colin and I, we were originally, but it was a different world then. We would no longer sit at the side of the motorway and...
I just think when I read your story of how you started this sitting at the side of a motorway with your CB radios, getting it through the airwaves with the other truckers and things like that, or we're having a festival, because I heard you describe it as Glastonbury for trucks.
Yeah, and it is.
Describe Glastonbury for trucks.
Well, it's their get together, and bearing in mind Truckfest Southwest at Shepton Mallet, that is, as the crow flies, it's 2 miles away from the Glastonbury Pilton site, so it's quite strange, really. But no, if I say that I love it, I do love it. People often say to me, when are you retiring? Well,
never.
I don't have to retire. I was just saying outside to my brother, I don't do the operational stuff that I used to do, but I go around schmoozing with people. I was talking to a couple of influential hauliers yesterday, the biggest that you get, and I actually go around and chat to them, and it's I've got a lot of friends.
I think if you even weren't at one, from what I'm gathering, people would miss you, Bob. I think they'll be going, where is he? Why is he not here?
Well, they can see me wherever I go. I can't hide anywhere. I'm there. So no, but I love it. I love our brand. I love hearing from people that have been to the event and they've really enjoyed it. It's been special for them.
Yeah, because the impression I'm getting, it's a real, like you keep saying to me, it's a real family affair, you know. It's not just, it's for the whole family, isn't
Yeah,
it? It is for the whole
yeah.
family. So you don't like, say, for example, you come with your dad and your dad likes your trucks and your mum doesn't. Your mum can go off and do other things. There is other things going on in the showground, but primarily trucks.
Yeah, and when all the trucks get in here, um,
What sort of size trucks are we talking about?
we're talking about
Describe what sort
the big tractor units,
big
and a
tractor
lot of
units.
them are
A lot of wheels, Bob.
a lot of them are highly customized.
Yes.
They really do take care of their trucks, and part of it is it's cross for trucks, if you like.
Crufts for trucks. That's a mouthful. Crufts for trucks.
They're here to compete in the various competitions: best fleet, best new vehicle.
Yeah, I saw that you have competitions and stuff for the trucks.
And to win at Truckfest is perceived to be something very special. So the presentations go on in the main arena on the final day. And that's nice because, it's the coming together, it's the awarding of those that are extra special. We have a whole team of judges that go around throughout the weekend.
So people that the exhibitors or the people in the competitions are literally there with their cloths, their polishes, and the sort of every little speck.
Some of them never go off their area, and some of them you never see them at the main arena. The whole family takes part in polishing them up, and we will end up here next weekend with 3,000 trucks entered into the
Wow,
competitions.
where do you start with the logistics of like Bob has said about the CAD, knowing every bit of blade of grass and stuff like that? The logistics of getting that many trucks into a showground.
It's what we do. So we have a team that
He has his team.
that do that. I don't get too involved with that now. Once upon a time I did, but not now.
Yeah, but I just think it's amazing, like I was saying, I wish I could show you the expression on Bob's face with the pleasure he's got when he's talking about Truckfest, because it is amazing. Anyway, going back to Lincoln, what can people expect when they come to Lincoln? What can we see at
Well,
the
it's a
Lincoln
cliched
ship?
phrase to say it's a full day, but it really is a full day.
You have a Super Saturday as
We
well
have a
now.
Super Saturday, and the Super Saturday, so the first day, which is the Super Saturday, the gates open at 2:00.
A bit of a later day, a later time, but we'll
Because we
explain
need
why.
to get everything set. So the gates open at 2:00, and then it goes through till about 9 in the evening when there's a firework display. And there's something extra special this year, which I'm not going to go into.
He's
that's
not going to
happening.
tell us,
No.
so you'll have to
You'll
come
have to
along.
come and see it.
You will have to come along and see that.
So there's the monster trucks, there's parachute displays, there's motorcycle displays. All of that's going on in two separate arenas. We've got a large screen here, which is giant size, that will be linking the two together. We've got Todd from Ice Road Truckers who's here. He's flying in from the States to do
Especially to do Truckfest for you guys. Wow.
to do commentary.
Have you ever met him before?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
work with him a lot. And so he's there with our own Mikey Faulkner, who is our Truckfest commentator.
Wow.
So they will be working together, and it's just solid action. And then, of course, wandering around the trucks, it's like being in a maze, but there's so much to see. There really is.
Yeah.
And then, just out from where we are here, it's what we call the plaza. There's stage and entertainment going on. There's fun fair.
So you're basically catering for the whole family, aren't you? Because
Absolutely
you've got
right.
children's characters
Absolutely
wandering
right.
around, if I'm correct.
Absolutely.
So you've got,
Plus, we've got the gladiators here each day.
that's
And
the
they'll
new
be signing
gladiators.
That's the new gladiators. They'll be signing autographs. There's a kiddies zone. There's lots going on.
I think you guys have to actually buy tickets and come along, because I think the passion and the enthusiasm that I'm seeing, it will be in the showground in abundance from what I'm learning with all the trucks and what the people are taking.
Our yardstick, when we first came up with the concept, was to come up with an event that we'd take our own families to. And if you stick with that, you don't go far wrong. Something that they would want to come and see. And that's what we've done. They vary throughout the UK. I mean, the Scottish one is an event all onto its own at the Royal Highland Centre. All of them we enjoy. And yeah, different hauliers, different locations, but the same passion for the industry.
This Links Lives Natters podcast is brought to you in association with A Guilty Secret, the brilliant new psychological thriller from best-selling Lincolnshire author Philippa East, creator of Little White Lies, Safe and Sound, and I'll Never Tell. It was only meant to be a game. At exclusive boarding school St Michael's, Carrie and her friends are used to getting away with anything, until one night their recklessness goes dangerously too far. They swore to keep what happened a secret. They swore to protect one another. But 16 years on, someone is about to break that promise, because you can't keep a guilty secret forever. Gripping and twisty, A Guilty Secret releases on the 18th of January 2024 and is available to pre-order via Amazon, Waterstones and your favourite independent bookshops now. Don't miss out. Discover Philippa East's brilliant psychological thrillers today.
Faulty boiler leaving you brainless. Radiator making you feel cold and lifeless. Leaky tap making you feel like a... Then call J&S Plumbing and Heating. Your local, your friendly, reliable plumbing and heating engineer. We offer comprehensive solutions for all your plumbing, gas and heating issues. We are here to bring you and your plumbing back to life. So call J&S Plumbing and Heating when you're feeling a little grave. Hello?
Obviously, as I've been chatting to Bob, and the history of the Truckfest, you've had quite a few guests over the years, and I've just been chatting to Bob, and one of them, I don't quite know what he's gonna say, but one of them was a little known, can I say pop band? Because I guess they're a man band now. But at the time, they were very much an up-and-coming pop band. And when you got them, you sort of listed them as somebody else, didn't you, Bob?
Well, it was the strangest occasion. It was 1993, and because we do concerts, we had been offered the opportunity of
a very up-and-coming
having
band.
a band who had just been away in Japan, but when they came back, they were looking for 3 locations: one in the south, one in the Midlands, and one in the north, where they could be seen. So they said, would you consider it? We agreed a fee, but I had no idea what they were
or who they were.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think we actually didn't know what we'd got until we saw a documentary that was on the BBC where the Shepherd's Bush studio had been mobbed by screaming fans.
Because their fans, we're not talking about who they are yet, but their fans were well known for screaming and crying and absolutely.
Absolutely. And initially, I remember going home and saying to the family, you talk over the dinner table, and them saying, "Oh, what's been happening? What celebrities have we got?" And initially, I said, "Oh, we've got this band called Take This." And you could see the look on the kids' faces, because they obviously twigged who it was. And there was an awful lot of planning that went into that exercise, because it was a question of making sure that they were safe, The fans were safe.
For anybody who hasn't realised who we're actually talking about Take That.
Yeah.
In their very up and coming sort of
Yeah,
early days.
they just peaked. Robbie was still with them.
I must admit, Bob, I hate to say this, but I'm very jealous because you met Robbie Williams.
We had to. Fortunately, we've got a great team that look after celebrities. They're always really, really good. They put the celebrities at their ease, and we've had an awful lot of celebrities over the years.
Yeah,
And,
because you it's not just the bands. There's been Anton Deck and
one of the favourite ones was the team from Hello,
really
who came in costume, and it was fantastic. People like that, Mr. Britas, another one, very, very popular. Eddie the Eagle. I could go on and on and on.
Well, it's like you say, it's the really obscure ones that you think aren't going to bring the people. But Eddie the Eagle, he's like a cult.
He was at the time.
He's very cult, isn't he? And he does have his followers and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Truckfest is all about larger than life, taking you out of your everyday existence, which is about any event that you go to. That's what it's all about. And Truckfest has had its fair share. Some of them problematic, some of them, fantastic, but all of them wanting to be seen by the public.
Yeah, so, just listening to Bob talking there and stuff like that, that's another history and all the memories Bob's sharing with, all the celebrities and stuff like that have attending the shows. But going back to the trucks, so you say it's the big trucks. Explain what an actual rig is for people who don't know what a rig is.
So, a truck and trailer, they are, there's various manufacturers. Some of them are highly customised. Some of them will have sporting themes on them. They all make a statement about the business. So, in other words, you will see them logoed up. You'll recognise the brand.
I recognise one of them, but I don't think we can mention it because we might get told off. But all I'll say is ES. That's all I'll say. And
well, funnily enough, I spoke to him yesterday. The brother of ES yesterday. So. That's the Stobart Group, so it's not a problem. But they were innovators because at the end of the day, what they actually did by putting the female names on the front.
I'm actually going to confess to something, Bob, now. When I've been up and down the A1 or I've been on trips and stuff like that, we still do it. We look at the names of the trucks when we're driving up and down.
Eddie spotters, yeah.
Yes. I can't believe I've just admitted that on my podcast that I'm an Eddie Stobart spotter.
It was a good thing to pass the journey with kids,
Yeah, because I'll say, oh, look at the name of that truck. Because there is actually one with my name. Right. And I've actually spotted the one with my name as well. I was like, that truck's got my name. But it just wasn't Michelle. It was Michelle something or other. And and I was like quite chuffed that I got an Eddie Stobart truck named after me. Well, not specifically me, but there was.
Well, one year at Truckfest, we actually had a competition to name 12, and that was quite special. It's like any haulage business. It's these days it has its frustrations. All hauliers, because the roads, as they are now,
price of fuel and everything.
Everything, and bearing in mind that a lot of them are trying to work to schedules, and how do you work to a schedule when you've got the M25 blocked?
Because there's quite often stories on the news, isn't it, about the hauliers, how they're struggling with prices of fuel, they can't get their journeys complete as well, isn't it? So something like this, I guess, is a good morale booster.
Truckfest gives them an opportunity to get together. It's a bit of a sounding board, and have a bit of leisure, involve their families. Their families come along for the weekend, and they're a part of what they do for a living. So, Colin, our MD, his brother was a truck driver, and that's probably where the initial.
This is how you two got to know each other, sort of like from a history of...
Well, we
haulage?
were a marketing services company, so I joined Colin. Funnily enough, I was talking about it the other day. I joined him about 46, 47 years ago.
Wow.
And at the time, his business was more involved with country music. He'd been in a band himself. He was a drummer in a band, and they played with a lot of the famous people, Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, because I had sort of changed the conversation a little bit. When sort of back, a lot of these bands did come to Lincolnshire, didn't they? Hendrix, and they
all
came.
went to the Glider.
Yeah, they all came, didn't they?
The Glider
You know?
at Boston. But Colin, I mean, there was one very, very famous gig at our hometown in Spalding, which was called Barbecue 67.
Wow.
And on the bill, I mean, was everything from The Move, Jimi Hendrix, Cream, Pink Floyd, and they were all on the same bill. And Colin's band was the Link Band, so they played between each of the acts. And, you know, so his background was the music. And then we did events for some of the blue chips, like breweries. We launched products like Castlemaine 4X in for Allied Breweries. We did consumer nights. And then there was a huge event that we did for Austin Rover, which would be 1981 or 2. And we were lucky enough to get the contract to do a large event for them where they put their distributor network together, where they had mum, dad and the kids on the circuit in the range of cars, everything from a Mini through to, at the time, an Ambassador or a Jaguar. We did that event. We knew the budget was only going to come our way once, and that's when we said, well, we're going to have to do something for ourselves. And it was actually Colin that came up with the idea of Truckfest initially. My dad had been a truck driver as well, and we worked on it together, and we're only as successful as the people that want to take part. Every truck that pulls up at this event next weekend, you know, he's taken the time and trouble to be here. He wants to enjoy his weekend, and everybody feels, you know, such a part of the industry. It's just an opportunity to rein back for the weekend and just enjoy themselves. And that's what Truckfest tries.
So how many trucks, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, how many trucks are we expecting?
We will have around about 3,000.
3,000 trucks at the Lincolnshire Showground. What dates are we looking at, Bob?
So the 4th, 5th and 6th. The 4th, the gates open at 2 o'clock and go through to the evening incorporating the fireworks. The 5th, the gates open at 9 in the morning and go through to 5:30. And then the 6th, 9 in the morning till 4:30.
And where can people purchase their tickets?
Online.
Online.
www.truckfest.co.uk.
Oh, Bob, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much indeed.
No, thank you so much for your time. And we will get this out here. We'll put all the information on our social media channels. So anybody who's interested in the Truckfest, they can go along to our platforms, and we will link to Bob's platforms as well. So get your tickets for a very exciting weekend that's going to be happening in Lincoln. Thank you once again, Bob.
Pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to the Links Lives Natters podcast. My thanks to Bob Limming from Live Events Promotions for talking about Truckfest. All the links to the events and to purchase tickets are available via our platforms. Many thanks to my technical team and to our newest member of the team, Mandy, for all her support. Thank you to the Lincolnshire Showground for providing the room. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you found value in what you've heard, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favourite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach many more listeners. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. Follow us on X and join our Facebook group. We love hearing from you and engaging in discussions relating to our episodes. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep us exploring this fascinating world around us. This is Shelley signing off for now.